1 Peter 5, 6 through 9. Peter wrote, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety upon him because he cares for you. Be alert and be sober. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same sufferings." Now, Peter penned those words. Peter was a disciple of Jesus, and he penned those words somewhere between 60 and 65 AD, during a time of intense Christian persecution. And just 3 years after he wrote this letter, he himself would die a martyr's death at the hands of Nero, who was the emperor of the Roman Empire. There's some gold nuggets in there, in this passage of Scripture. The Lord reminded me when I made that declaration last week that we are at war. He reminded me of some things that he told me before we went to serve as missionaries in communist China. Because at that time I was in an intercessor that really got deep into spiritual warfare. And I was going into a communist, atheistic country where Christianity, as we know it, is illegal. They have government-run churches that are controlled by the government, but the Christian church is really the underground church, which is the illegal church. And I would be going to work with those people. And the Lord said to me, "You need to know how to be safe behind enemy lines." And so he said to me, that first line of Peter, "Humble yourself, therefore, in the mighty hand of God." The Lord said to me, humility is spiritual camouflage. Humility is spiritual camouflage. You have to stay low, humble, and hidden. And he said, if you get lifted up in pride, you become a red flag for the enemy and a target for the enemy. And so I used to do a lot of fasting, and I'd pray, intercede 6, sometimes 8 hours a day. But I knew I couldn't say anything about what I did because it would be like a spiritual pride thing. And it would be a target. So one of the most important things that we have to learn is to, in order to be safe, is to walk in a level of humility where we just keep our mouth shut and do what God tells us to do. And we will be safer behind enemy lines.